Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Boosters Exposed. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at two accounts here. As you might be able to see on the left, we've got Alkpote he's a French player, and trql. Here are their stats. This is Alkpote, also known as Sene. He's a popular French player. He's in the guild LG, which is the biggest French guild. Pretty big guild, bit of an AP hunter for some games, only 7.7k. Someone did put a lot of time into this account, level 223 network, over 10 mil karma, over 3k, almost 4k quests completed, 2015 join date. It's a pretty good account. And then we'll be taking a look at trql here. trql is over network level 300, level 329 in Foundation, very popular guild back in the day, and also very well known for having boosters, over 15k AP, over 10k quests completed, over 15 mil karma, fairly well built account. And this screenshot here, this first one, was provided to me by a friend. But damn sure all credit for the screenshot goes to him. This is a picture of the match history, the old match history from when he played. And ironically enough, Alkpote here is actually the person who submitted the quote unquote issue report or bug report to get match history removed. So it's actually ironic that he boosted and then noticed that people could see he was boosting. He sent in a bug report for it to get it removed. And Connor, I think it was Connor Limfoot, or maybe it was another staff, actually accepted said report and removed the old match history, which is sort of pro boosting. A little funny, I think. Anyways, that's that. You can see all the alts here. There are exactly 6 alts that we'll be taking a look at in this. They did boost Bridge 2v2v2v2 for the wins for the achievements, I suppose. They also got quite high on the leaderboard for win streak, though, which is why their name is being brought up so much. That said, first thing I want to show you guys, which is a little funny, this new kitten account actually changed their IGN, and ironically enough, they changed their IGN to Trevi X trql. So there's the word trql here, and trql is actually one of the accounts that we're looking for boosting. So I can assume that those accounts are linked. I can also assume that the account goal and Alkpote are linked, considering goal is a popular word in French, and the guild LG is Les Gaulois. So there's sort of a little word in the big word there, where I can assume that's a French IGN. If not his alt, at least someone who knows him. There's also Emperor Lai here, where Emperor, you'll notice, is not written in English. It is Empereur in French. So once again, another French IGN, which just further shows that these alts and these mains are linked. And it's quite obvious that they are linked as such. Now, as I did with my first episode of Boosters Exposed, and as with hopefully many episodes to come, I ran my alt scanner script on all the accounts, and here's what I've got. So on the very top left, as with a lot of times, I'll use an example player. So this is Pixelmaster, who did not boost. He's actually just a good friend of mine who plays a lot of bridge, good friend of the community. In fact, he mains 4 teams modes. So this is his stats. He doesn't play that much 2v2v2v2 nearly as much as he plays 3s. However, he still played over 1,000 games, so I decided to take him as an example. Now, you'll notice here, I'll scroll down. You can see all 8 accounts at once here. I sort of changed it up from last time a little bit, so it's easier on you guys. You can see all 8 accounts at once. Up here in the top, I'm going to make these a little bigger. Up here in the top left, you can see, I'll make them even. Up here in the top left, you can see the 2 boosted accounts. I'll scroll down, geez. There we go, these 2 boosted accounts. They have fairly bad win-loss. However, that doesn't really matter. I mean, these are actually quite good win rates. These are like 90% win rate, 70% win rate. 70% is quite low, but that's because he actually tried to get a lot of his wins legit and then realized that he just couldn't. So he boosted, which I don't encourage anybody ever do. Now, as we compare with Pixel, average blocks placed almost 60 per game. Alkpote or Sine here is way too far down at 6.7. That's insanely low. trql is fairly decent. This could be an acceptable blocks placed per game quite easily. If you're playing with like a sweaty team or for a good player, I could imagine having a high amount of blocks per game floating around the 20s and up. I'd say 20 is probably a bit low. However, I can very much see it happening. However, you'll notice average push shots per game looks just about fine. They're a little low, but that's fine. Average melee swings per game, though, especially Alkpote, is really lacking. So you can tell that they weren't actually doing that much. And Pixelmaster has a decent win rate because he plays with good players. So you can see even their win rate, like 90%, is like quite absurd. You'd have to be a really good player to have such win rate. However, we'll see here in a second, they're actually not that good players, it seems, because they're queuing against these 6 accounts here. You'll notice the win rate on these accounts are really lacking. I'm talking, like, these 2 guys have 1 win, and all the rest have 0, and these guys are all running over 100 games played. Okay, and they're all roughly the same amount, to the point where they boosted a little over 100 games, and so like it makes sense. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they boosted exactly like 131 or something games or 132 games, because you can tell like all these accounts just played a couple games before on some of them, and they were just boosted or used for boosting. And then obviously 0% win rate, like under 1% win rate. Like these are literally just alts. They've never gotten a kill ever. Never got a kill. This account has swung probably once and probably got 1 goal, but like this account didn't click at all. This account didn't click at all. This account didn't click at all. This account, very little amount of clicking per game. Also probably 1 goal. And then here, melee swing, this is very little per game. That's under 1 melee swing a game. Like this is literally no click challenge accounts that all have 0 kills. Extremely low stats. I think it is painfully obvious at this point. I mean, this guy probably got 1 or 2 kills. But I think it's painfully obvious and extremely clear here that these are boosting ults and that these guys are AFK in the games. So if it is to be believed that this screenshot provided here by but damage is true, which I believe it is, because I remember actually getting multiple screenshots that are similar. This was just the best one, all from different sources, namely quite a few people in Bridgers or around the Bridge community. And so I just thought I'd make a second video here real quick exposing these 2 players, one in LG and one in Foundation. And I just think it's a little funny. A lot of people from these big guilds say that nobody in their guild boosts. However, as we see here, 2 big guilds each have a player that's boosted. Now this was from a couple of months ago. I believe this was actually from back in December or something. So it was a couple of months ago. However, nonetheless, it is quite obvious, extremely clear proof that they did boost in Bridge 2v2v2v2. So that's it for this episode. Hopefully I don't have to make too many more episodes, although these are getting quite easy to make with recent stat checking tools. And yeah, so I'll just keep it short, and I'll end the episode there. If you have any questions, please ask in the description, and hopefully I can help clarify anything if there's anything that's not perfectly clear. And as with my last episode, if there's anything that you think is misinformation, please immediately DM me on Discord so I can take a further look into it.